Hello you guys, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. I am in a little bit of a different area today. I am actually outside, I'm on my porch or balcony. Sorry, balcony's at the top, porch at the bottom. Anyways, but I am doing This Summer I Turned Pretty. I'm gonna do my little thoughts, opinions, gonna kind of run through the book while I get pretty. So sit down, do your makeup with me so that we can get pretty together. Let's just get started. So sorry, I'm gonna be a little bit all over the place because this is new. Got a little setup going on over here, and I'm gonna try to do this as best as I can. And it's hot, so like while I'm doing my makeup, it's hot. And I forgot my fan inside. Dang it. Anyways, it's fine. It's fine. So, okay. This Summer I Turned Pretty. So I read all 3 books recently, and I have thoughts and opinions. Okay, my first thought is, you guys know I'm a character person because I've mentioned it in, I think, almost every video I did so far. Or I've done, sorry, correct grammar. I was not a fan of Belly. She's one of those characters for me. She's one of those characters that I just don't care for. But anyway, so The Summer I Turned Pretty is about Isabel, or they call her Belly. And she goes to this summer home with her mom's best friend and her mom's best friend's kids, right? So it's Belly, and then Laurel is her mom, and then Jeremy is her brother. So they all go to Susanna's house, her summer house, with Conrad and Conrad and Jeremiah, which are Susanna's kids. So they go and they have this summery thing, right? But the boys are always leaving Belly out because she's a girl, and they're like, no girls allowed. So it's always them. But Belly has always had a crush on Conrad, right? And this is the first summer she's turned pretty, right? So like her body is, new, and her hair is longer, and she's wearing makeup and stuff now. I think I just spilled some stuff, hopefully not on my shirt, because foundation is so hard to get off. Anyway. So, she's just becoming a young woman, and so she's a little bit more confident this summer. And Jeremy, sorry, why don't you call him Jeremy? Jeremiah has always liked Belly, but Belly has always liked Conrad. So Conrad is kind of like that mysterious, quiet one, and he's kind of like to himself. And, Belly thinks of Jeremiah as just like a best friend. And so they're at this house, and they're still kind of treating Belly kind of like a little kid, and she is kind of a whiner. I'm just gonna be honest, she's a whiner, and she used to be a tattletale, and she's like, I'm gonna tell mom. Anyways, but the book kind of like flashes between the summer that they're currently in, and then like, they give little flashbacks of other summers that they've had, which is cute. But Belly really likes, ooh, the lighting is better this way. Belly really likes Conrad. So while all this is going on, Susanna, the mom of the boys, she is sick. She has cancer. And so they're just trying to get through that, and cope with that. The boys and Belly and Jeremiah. Oh my gosh, and Jeremy. I'm sorry. I don't know why they're Jeremiah and Jeremy. That's gonna confuse me the whole time. But anyways, so it's pretty much just that, their summer. It was cute. The book was cute. The second one goes into kind of life after Susanna has passed away. So in the second book, Susanna passed away, and they're just kind of coping with that. And then Belly, she doesn't go to the summer house like she usually does. This summer she didn't go because everything with Susanna, and the dad is trying to sell the house, which they don't know until a little bit later on, but the dad is trying to sell the house. So Conrad goes missing, right? So Jeremiah calls Belly and is like, hey, Conrad is gone. We don't know where he is. He's not here. Can you help me find him? And of course, Belly loves her some Conrad, so she's going to. Now sorry, I didn't even mention that they dated kind of at the end of the last book. Like, they kind of dated. So, but then they ended up breaking up. Really didn't talk for a while, but Jeremiah was like, I need your help to find Conrad because he's missing, and yada yada yada. So they were like, okay. Belly was like, yeah, I'll help you find him, but she didn't tell her mom that she was going to go help find Conrad. Now, mind you, Susanna and Laurel, best friends, ride or dies. They're there for each other, right? They're there for their kids too. So their kids are their kids. Susanna's kids are Laurel's kids. Laurel's kids are Susanna's, right? So that becomes a problem later on when Laurel finds out that she went to go look for Conrad and didn't tell her. She got upset and she was like, Belly, you should have told me. Pretty much like, Susanna's kids are my kids. Like, I'm here to take care of them. Susanna wants me to take care of them. And the fact that you didn't tell me is just like annoying. You know what I mean? And Belly's she's a little brat, okay? And so she's like, Mama, you did it. And they have a fight. Laurel slaps her and Belly like runs off and stuff like that. And, you know, Belly's just a little dramatic for me. Sorry, you guys. I feel like I'm not really even doing a good job at explaining this book because I'm so focused on my makeup, and I need to practice more on, explaining books. Anyways, so they find Conrad at the summer house, right? And they find out that he's there because his dad is trying to sell the house, and they don't want him to do that. So also, by the way, his dad, like their dad, the Fisher dad, Conrad and Jeremiah's dad, they weren't in the best relationship, right? The boys and the dad, because the dad kind of just left them out to fend for themselves with their mom, and, he wasn't truly there for them or Susanna, and I believe he did cheat on her. But Susanna loved him very much and was like, we're going to just make it work. But he's like, no, we're going to sell the house, da, 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 da. Anyways, after Laurel finds out that Fisher is trying to sell the house, she decides to help. And then the Fisher dad is like, okay, which is Conrad and Jeremiah's dad, is like, okay, cool, fine. After, a big fight, he's like, if you guys, if Conrad, if you go back to school and you ace all your exams, then you can keep the house, right? So they're like, yeah, cool, we're going to stay at this house. Then, Conrad goes, they go on this little road trip to bring him back to school. Jeremiah, Conrad, and Belly go on this little road trip to take Conrad back to college. And, they help him study and stuff. But this little road trip brings some, feelings, right? So Belly is like, I love you, Conrad, pretty much, in her head, right? But she's like upset with him and she's going in on him. And then while Conrad, gets a little spurt of happiness and he's like hugs Belly and things like that. And I think he's starting to come to terms that he likes her. But then Jeremiah tells Belly that he likes her and then kisses her. And then Belly's kind of like, oh, I might actually be okay with this. I might actually like it. And then Conrad sees, and then it's awkward, and then yada yada. Then Conrad and Belly have a fight. And then, we move on to the next book, the third book, which Jeremiah and Belly are dating. They're both in college. They're dating, and Belly finds out that Jeremiah doesn't technically cheat on her, but kind of does. So they were on a break, and he went and he slept with someone else. And she ended up finding out later on, and they broke up for a second, and then they got back together, and he asked her to marry him, right? And she was like, yeah, I'll marry you. So this book is all about them getting married, and just I'm sorry, you guys, and just the hardships that they're facing while they're trying to get married. Honestly, it irritates me so much because Belly knows she does not like Jeremiah like that. She knows that she loves Conrad, and for her to hang on to this man knowing that she doesn't truly want him, she may love him, but she's not in love with him. She's in love with Conrad, and that's why that's so irritating to me, because you know how you feel. you know. And anyways, the mom's upset. Belly's mom's upset. The Fisher dad, you know, he comes to terms with it, and he's like, okay, I'll help pay for the wedding. Conrad's not very happy about it. Belly's brother, you know, supports her. Then Jeremiah finds out some tea about Belly and Conrad, because in the last book they spent, I think it was Christmas, together at the house, at the summer house, and Jeremiah didn't know about it. I can't exactly remember why they were both there at the same time. I think they were meeting up and they got there both earlier or something. I can't remember. But she didn't tell Jeremiah about it, and her and Jeremiah were dating at the time, right? And he was like, well, how come you didn't tell me about it? And she was like, I didn't think it mattered. And he's like, pretty much the reason you didn't tell me is because it does matter. You still have feelings for Conrad. Yeah, they fight about that on their wedding day. Okay, after going through all this trouble, going in on their parents, like, we can do this, we're adults, you know, we're okay with it, da-da-da, we're gonna be fine, we're gonna do this and that and the other. Finally, they come around and comes to terms with it. Laurel comes around, and then you guys have this fight on your wedding day about something so stupid, because I'm just gonna be honest, y'all both knew that Belly wanted Conrad. Belly knew, Jeremiah knew. Anyways, but they end up not getting married. And then the epilogue in the end is that Conrad and Belly got married in the end. They had a happy life after. Now, I'm going to be honest. You can call me mean all you want to. I didn't want Belly to have a happy ending. Like, she shouldn't have gotten with Conrad because she wanted Conrad, and she should not have been with Jeremiah because Jeremiah was too good for her. She should have been by herself, or she should have been with one of those other characters that liked her, that were not relevant, but she should have been with neither of the brothers. I'm just gonna be honest. But yeah, my thoughts, you guys kind of already know. It was cute. The book itself was cute. It was just Belly, and like the relationship was just so irritating to me because, and I know that they're younger, right? This is when they were like 16, 17, 18, fine. But the fact that, like, she played this boy, she played Jeremiah, and Jeremiah, like, truly did really love Belly. And yes, he did a lot with, you know, going with that other girl, but I just think that Belly honestly kind of manipulated Jeremiah, because she knew that he liked her so much and loved her so much that she was like, oh, that's another thing. At the end of the third book, you guys, she said, like, when they were breaking up and they were, you know, not going to get married, she was like, pretty much, I knew that Jeremiah would still marry me if I asked him to, even though pretty much he knew that I loved Conrad. And it's like, what? How self-centered are you? Like, come on. Anyways, I was not a fan of Belly, and I don't know how I feel about watching the show, because I do kind of want to watch the show to see how it compares to the book, because I'm big on wanting to watch a show if I have the book, and if I watch the show, I want to read the book. So, did I say that right? Watching the movie, I want to read the book. Reading the book, I want to watch the show and movie. Okay, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. But I don't know, because I have a friend, and she told me that she watched the summer I Turned Pretty, and she said she's never read the book, but she watched the show, and she said that, yes, Belly was irritating, and I'm like, I don't know. Should I get myself all worked up? Is it that serious? But yeah, you guys need to let me know down below if you've ever seen The Summer I Turned Pretty, if you've ever seen the show, or if you've ever read the book. Now, I know it's an old book, right? It's been out for a long time, and I'm just now reading it. I'm gonna turn this way. And I'm just now reading it, so I'm like way behind, and that's cool. I'm okay with that. For me, reading really popular stuff, I try not to, because then, you know, I might sway my opinion depending on what everybody's saying. Like, if everybody's like, oh, it's so good, I love the book, I love the movie, then I may be like, okay, now I feel like I have to love this movie. So I'm going to try to find things to love about the movie or the book or whatever. So I like to kind of watch it when it's just a little bit out of trend to kind of get my own opinions on it. Because, yeah, I can still hear things about it. But if I'm watching it or reading it within the hype, it might sway my opinion. But for certain books, like, that I know I personally am excited about, I'll get, even if it's on trend, because I know that I'm excited about it regardless of other people's opinions. But if it's something like I've never been interested in, like, honestly, I've never been interested in the Summer I Turned Pretty series. I got 2 of the books for Christmas and I was like, oh, okay, cool. So that's why, like, I got into it and I was like, like I said, it was cute. I did like the setup, the scenery, and it was fun because it felt almost like nostalgic, because it was just like teen little problems, you know, fighting back and forth over a guy type thing. And yeah, it did like shine light to death and grief and things like that. Oh, speaking of grief, you guys, in the second book, I think it was the second book, we saw, you know, Conrad and Jeremiah, Belly and them at Laurel's funeral, right? This girl has the nerve to yell. I forgot which color I used, you guys. Okay, this color right here on the end is what I'm going to use. There we go. I can't multitask, y'all. But anyways, this girl has the nerve to yell at Conrad at his mother's funeral. Like, you cannot save your drama for 2 seconds while you're at a funeral for this lady that you love so much, and that you told your mom that you wish that was your mom instead, and you're yelling. You're being dramatic. You're being a drama queen at this woman's funeral. Like, what? Come on. Like, I get, fine, like I said, I'll give the age a little bit of grace. You're young, and also, too, she has a best friend, Taylor, right? And, you know, I'm not a huge fan of Taylor, but she can make some valid points, like, because they're both kind of not great friends. It's kind of a toxic friendship, if I'm being honest. But, yeah, like I said, for me, Belly's a no. I don't know. Are you guys team Belly? And do you guys choose Conrad or Jeremiah? I know that's a huge thing, because just like in Vampire Diaries, Stefan or Damon, which one are you guys? Like I said, I already made my stance. I'm neither of them, because she doesn't deserve either of them. She doesn't she doesn't deserve Conrad because she wanted him, and doesn't deserve Jeremiah because he's too good for her. And I'm just gonna be honest with that, because it just don't make no sense. It don't make any sense. Okay, let me see what I'm forgetting, because I'm like ranting. Okay, now I'm gonna do some of this setting spray here, because now next I'm just gonna do my mascara on. Gosh, you know, I hope, because I feel like I look really oily right now, and I'm not trying to look super oily, especially in the summertime when I'm like sweating. So y'all let me know, are you guys a matte person in the summertime, or are you a glowy person in the summertime? Personally, I don't like the matte look, because then like my face looks too dry. Okay, I'm back. The noise is still going on, but we're not gonna sit here for an hour while that stops. Anyways, but I'm done. You know, I just like the little natural look, but this is fun. I really enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know I was ranting, I was kind of all over the place, and thank you guys so much for bearing with me. But that is it. I hope you guys are having a good rest of your day, night, whenever you guys are watching this, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.